everybody, welcome to Real Rebel. Today I am going to list off movies that several people recommended for favorite horror or Halloween type movies. We've got Scream, which those movies came out in the 90s, and there were, I think, a couple that were released in the 2000s. They kind of talk about the rules of horror. I love them so much. Neve Campbell was fantastic in those movies. I wish she had had a bigger career. Yeah, those movies are great fun. I got several votes for Hocus Pocus with Bette Midler and Kathy Najimy. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly. And Sarah Jessica Parker. I remember when this movie came out, and I never crossed paths with this movie. I still haven't seen it to this day, so I've got it on my library queue, so it's got about 50 other people ahead of me, so I'll probably be watching it around Christmas time. I'll let you know what I think. Beetlejuice is so fantastic. You've got Michael Keaton in there. He's zany, he's funny, great flick. You gotta check that one out. Let's see, The House of Wax. Now, let's think about this one, The House of Wax. There's the Vincent Price version that came out in probably the 60s. It's got some 3D elements to it, and then there's the version that came out maybe 10 to 15 years ago, and it's got Alicia Cuthbert in it and Paris Hilton. And I remember my husband and I we rented that version, the more recent House of Wax with Paris Hilton. I didn't make it. I couldn't watch it, and the reason was something very, very bad happens to poor Alicia Cuthbert's finger. I nearly passed out and I had to turn it off. I know I love horror films, but gore with stuff like that, it usually makes me almost pass out. So really not a reflection of the movie itself, but I unfortunately couldn't finish it because of that. But I'm sure it's great. I hear Paris Hilton dies in it, so... The Exorcist. Of course, The Exorcist. One of the best movies ever made. And it came out in the 70s. It was so shocking at the time. It's still shocking to this day. The Shining, that was an adaptation of a Stephen King story. It's a masterpiece. Stanley Kubrick took that story and he made it into something really wild with Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. It's definitely not a jump scare type of a movie. It's more of a psychological movie where you watch a man go insane and how his family has to deal with that. I've done a review on this movie, yes. Terrifier with Art the Clown. There's supposed to be a sequel coming out. It was supposed to come out here this month in October of 2020, but unfortunately it got pushed back to 2021. Terrifier is amazing. This character is going to be around for a long time. You end up cheering for the bad guy. Art the Clown, he rocks. A Nightmare on Elm Street. I did not grow up with A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think I maybe saw it for the first time in college, and I'm not sure why I missed that one. I mean, I knew of it, I just never saw it. And it's horrific. It's so scary, and I love Robert Englund in it. And he basically, can kill you in your dreams, so it makes you pretty scared to go to sleep. So he's definitely one of those rivals to the Jason Voorhees character from Friday the 13th. And Nightmare Before Christmas. So this could be classified as a Halloween movie or as a Christmas movie or both. Directed by Tim Burton. I remember seeing this one when it came out in the theater. It's got a lot of music in it, and it's very visually stunning, and definitely one of those great movies to put in sometime around Halloween. The Addams Family. Of course, The Addams Family. I mean, like I said in one of my other videos, Morticia and Gomez, relationship goals. They are amazing together. I love them so much. And as great as the first movie is, I almost think that the sequel, Addams Family Values, is even funnier. But they are both so great. Perfect to get you in the mood for Halloween. Casper. I remember Casper. I saw it with some friends in the movie theater when it came out, and very cute movie. I don't remember it completely. I remember really, really enjoying it, and everybody I was with enjoyed it too. So check out Casper. I gotta watch that one again. Child's Play. This was another horror film that I didn't grow up with, and finally a few years ago I just decided with my husband, I'm like, we gotta watch Child's Play. I mean, we have to do it. It's funny and it's scary. It's very 1980s, and it'll make you scared of that Chucky doll. But he's hilarious. He's got great lines, and check out Child's Play. Now, Hell House. I have never seen Hell House. I just looked it up real quick and it came out in 2015, and it's one of those found footage movies like the Blair Witch Project, and I tend to like those found footage movies, so I'll have to check that one out. Someone suggested High Spirits. I can't believe there's another person who knows High Spirits. So that one had Peter O'Toole and Jennifer Tilly, Steve Guttenberg, Daryl Hannah. Basically anybody who was famous in the 1980s was in this movie. Liam Neeson, Beverly D'Angelo. Basically a group of people that go to this haunted castle for a haunted experience, and it ends up all being kind of fraudulent, but they end up having fun, and there actually are ghosts in the house unbeknownst to the people who own it, who own Castle Plunkett. And if you can find High Spirits, I know I've seen it available on streaming here and there, but yeah, go ahead, check it out. I've also got a friend who has a kind of a schedule for October. So he watches the George Romero films, the 1968 classic Night of the Living Dead. If you haven't seen that, then you need to. He also did Creep Show, which was a Stephen King story, Tales from the Dark Side, and then he also watches all the Universal monster movies. So from, in chronological order, whichever came first. So you've got, The Wolfman, The Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein, The Creature of the Black Lagoon. And these movies had like Lon Chaney Jr. and Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, just classic movies. Also, he watches The Invisible Man with Claude Rains. He's amazing in this movie, just a maniac and awesome. And if you've seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show, then you know by hearing the song Science Fiction double feature when those lips are singing at the beginning that Claude Rains was the invisible man. He also watches the Hammer films, which, Christopher Lee. And then he watches some TV shows like Night Gallery and Tales from the Crypt. One more, Sleepy Hollow. So Sleepy Hollow came out probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, probably the late 90s. I remember seeing that, I think, when I was in high school with a friend in the movie theater. It's Ichabod Crane, Pumpkinhead, classic story, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, and more cowbell, Christopher Walken. So I hope that you get to watch lots and lots of scary, fun movies for Halloween. It's one of the best months of the year. Bye!